I'm here with Alexander Mercouris, editor-in-chief of the Duran. Alexander from Byron, York, via the Washington Examiner. The title, Pelosi Caves. More than 3 weeks after the House passed articles of impeachment against President Trump, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has decided to start the process of appointing managers and sending the articles to the Senate for trial. In a letter to colleagues Friday, Pelosi did not say precisely when that will happen, but it appears it will be sometime next week. The speaker got nothing in return for a decision to end the holdout. The speaker got nothing. Back on December 18, the night the House impeached the president, Pelosi said she would not send the articles until she received some assurance that the Senate trial would be, quote, fair. Alexander, Pelosi got nothing.
Well, she got absolutely nothing. So her famous words have turned out to be completely empty. And I have to say, no one looking at this can be at all surprised. I mean, this whole idea of withholding the articles of impeachment, of not sending them to the Senate until the Senate was somehow coerced into agreeing to Pelosi's ideas about how the trial there should be conducted, was, to say it frankly, it was nuts. And I understand that the idea for it came from two sources. One is Professor Lawrence Troll, who is a very, very famous academic, lawyer on constitutional law, who has, in my opinion, frankly, lost his way completely ever since Donald Trump became president, and has now accepted and joined in every crazy, ludicrous theory about Donald Trump that is around there, from Russiagate, or, including everything that you've ever heard. So, I mean, that was a sort of bad choice to take advice from. And the other one was John Dean, who was Richard Nixon's special counsel way back in the early 1970s, and who was a big witness in the Watergate scandal, and who seems to have been, looking for ways to relive his prominence from that time, as well. So, I mean, Pelosi is listening to the advice of some very weird people, is all I can say about this. And of course, it's blown up in her face. When the Republican leadership, that's Mitch McConnell and his people, learned about that Pelosi was making all these demands, apparently they all laughed. They were all laughing with each other. I mean, there is no conceivable legal or constitutional device whereby the Speaker of the House of Representatives can somehow coerce the Senate in conducting a trial, an impeachment trial, in any way other than the way the Senate wishes. I mean, any advice you get from, as I said, law professors or legal fossils like John Dean, to the contrary, is absolutely worthless and should be, and one should pay no attention to it. And it speaks very poorly for Pelosi's lack of judgment that she went along with the advice of these people.
Yeah, Pelosi's shown a lack of judgment throughout this whole 3-year process. That's for sure. Russiagate all the way to Ukrainegate. Well, she looked absolutely awful, by the way, Alexander.
Oh, I know.
She was giving press conferences. I mean, she looked completely defeated.
Absolutely.
Completely defeated.
Well, she is. I mean, what clearly happened is that obviously she was coming under a lot of pressure from the squad and the other ultras in the Democratic Party who wanted to start some kind of impeachment, which she knew wasn't going to work. So she was talking against it. And then, as I said, Adam Schiff comes along, spins us some silly story about, a whistleblower who's found some evidence that Donald Trump is soliciting help from Volodymyr Zelensky in Ukraine to win the 2020 election. I'm absolutely crazy stuff. And she went for it. She bought into it without actually taking the trouble, obviously, to consider whether or not any of it was true. And so she started this impeachment in this ludicrous way, without a proper investigation being conducted, putting Schiff, of all people, in charge of that investigation. Schiff came up with absolutely nothing, which has been the story of everything that Schiff has done ever since Donald Trump became president. I mean, Schiff is always going around making all kinds of grandiose allegations, claiming that he has all kinds of information that will prove Donald Trump guilty of all sorts of things. It turns out that Schiff never does have anything. So Schiff comes along with this extraordinary tirade of impeachment report, which says absolutely nothing. Pelosi is forced to agree to have articles of impeachment signed off by the House of Representatives, which basically allege nothing either. And so she was trying to find some way of getting herself off the hook by twisting the arm of the Senate in order to get the Senate to agree to hold a trial on her terms. And of course, they said no. So, the whole impeachment venture, right from the get-go, all going all the way back to September, has been totally and completely misconceived. Even The Guardian, that's this British newspaper we have, which takes an ultra anti-Trump line on almost everything, but on everything. Even The Guardian had an article just the other day in which it admitted that the only effect of the impeachment has been to increase Donald Trump's popularity. Well, we said so. We could see it coming. We said so right from the beginning, that Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, this extremely experienced politician, didn't see it, is incredible. But there we are.
Yeah, this is going to destroy whatever legacy she had. If you could say that she had a legacy in politics, this single decision that she's made to move forward with the impeachment, this Ukrainegate hoax, all of this, holding back the impeachment papers, this is on her. This has destroyed her legacy. Trump is 100% right when he tweeted something along the lines like, she's going to go down in history as the worst speaker ever. Yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. This is all on her. To trust Adam Schiff. Are you brain dead to trust Adam Schiff with an impeachment?
Absolutely.
That is the stupidest thing she could have ever done.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Absolutely. I entirely agree. I mean, I'm at a loss to add anything to your.
It's some nerve. I mean, you got to have some nerve to go to the U.S. Senate and say, I want to do the impeachment on my terms after you did this kangaroo court impeachment with Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler in the House. And then you have the nerve to go to the U.S. Senate, which is controlled by Republicans, and say, I want to do it my way now.
I do, absolutely. I mean, on top of everything else, I mean, after you've been insisting that the reason you rushed through and broke all the rules, or at least all the conventions for conducting an impeachment in the House, was because it was so desperately urgent. And then suddenly, having gone through all of that, well, it turns out it's not actually urgent at all, because you're holding back your impeachment articles for weeks and weeks and weeks. Because, as you correctly said, you have the nerve to come along to the Senate and do it all my way. I mean, it's a mess. It's a total, complete, and absolute mess. I would add, by the way, that Nancy Pelosi, forgot what a speaker's job is. Obviously, she's a Democrat. Obviously, she's the leader of her party in the House of Representatives. But as speaker, she also has certain obligations towards impartiality, which she completely threw out of the window in this. She acted in a grossly partisan way, and frankly, an unintelligent one also. And I agree, it's wrecked her reputation as a speaker. And by the way, she knows it. She knows it. You were saying how unhappy she looked. Well, there you go. That's why.
Yeah, she pulled that "I found God" kind of excuse for a couple of weeks. I mean, it was just a circus, a complete circus. You couldn't say this whistleblower's name. I don't know. Can you say his name now?
No,
God,
apparently not. Apparently not.
You can't do that anymore either.
No.
The whole thing over a telephone transcript. The whole thing was stupid. Well, this is on her head. This is all on her head.
Absolutely. I mean, the point was that the moment that telephone transcript was produced, that record of the actual conversation, she should have realized there was absolutely nothing there, which there wasn't. I mean, it was crazy to press on after that transcript was produced. That was
I wouldn't press on with intelligent, capable, smart people pushing the story. She pressed on with idiots.
Exactly.
Dummies like Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler. Dummies, real dummies.
Absolutely.
She was putting her money on those guys.
Well, indeed. I mean, Adam Schiff, who was the man who went on for months and months and months talking about the Steele dossier being, verified and useful material and real evidence. I mean, that kind of person you trust with an impeachment. Well, I mean, she made her call. She's now going to pay the price, because there is going to be a price. There's going to be a major political price. And Trump will milk this for all it's worth. I mean, this is meat and drink to him. It's what he loves. He's going to have the Democrats exactly where he wants them.
Very quickly, if you had to make a prediction, do you think McConnell's going to make this a quick trial, or
I think
it's drawn out?
Unfortunately, and we've made our own view about this. We would have liked to have had a big trial with all the witnesses, not just the witnesses the Democrats want to call, but all the witnesses called, so that we could have a proper inquiry as to all the things that happened and all the wrongdoing that's been done, not just in this matter, but in all of the other aspects of the Donald Trump presidency, with Donald Trump represented by counsel and able to cross-examine these witnesses. It's not going to happen. Mitch McConnell doesn't want to go there. Apparently, a lot of the Republicans in the Senate don't want to go there. I understand there's one or two. I think there's two Republican senators who also trying to find ways of getting Pelosi's witnesses called, but they're not. It's not going to be enough. So I expect it'll be a quick trial. I expect there will be no witnesses at all, and I expect that the Senate will vote to acquit. I think that's probably the most confident prediction I've ever made.
All right, Alexander Mercouris, editor-in-chief of the Duran. Thank you very much, guys. If you like this video, click the subscribe button down below. Click on that notifications bell to make sure you get notifications every time we publish a new video. Look for us on iTunes and on Soundcloud to get an audio copy of this video. Please donate to us on PayPal, Patreon, and Subscribe Star. Your donation really helps us out a lot. And check us out on BitChute.com and DuranVideo.com, where we post all our videos on those two platforms as well. And also download the Telegram app and subscribe to our channel on Telegram. We still have the DRN20 coupon code, which is 20% off all merchandise on the Duran shop, including 2 new ebooks on Ukrainegate and Epstein. And when you purchase those ebooks, we will donate 100% of those proceeds to the NSW Rural Fire Services in Australia that are fighting those terrible fires.
Exactly, because that's how we cover this story. I mean, we are very conscious at the Duran of what an enormous story it is, of the enormous suffering it's caused, suffering to humans, suffering to animals. Apparently, hundreds of millions of animals have died in this fire. So, damage to the environment of Australia, a beautiful country. I've never been there, but people I know, many people I know are from there, and I know how upset and devastated they are by these fires. So it's not something we really know how to cover very well in the Duran. We've been getting lots of people coming and telling us about it. We're learning lots from them. So it shows, that it's a two-way street of the Duran. We learn from our viewers, just as we hope you learn from us. But we don't really know how to cover it, at least not for the moment. So we said to each other, how are we going to help? And Alex came up with this idea that we will commit to the fund all the money we make from our ebooks. And that's exactly what we're going to do. This is a fund to help the firefighters who are combating this fire, most of whom, as I've now learned, are volunteers. So it's a good cause in a terrible tragedy, and we're doing what we can in this way. Now, as for the ebooks themselves, there's 4 of them in our shop. 2 of them we published some time ago, one on Russiagate, one on Brexit. The 2 latest ones are on Ukrainegate and on Epstein. Ukrainegate, which is the subject of the video we've just done, is this huge supposed scandal that's getting all this publicity, all this coverage. And in fact, it's a non-story. There's no crime, there's no wrongdoing. There are not even any real witnesses. I mean, the famous whistleblower actually didn't witness anything. Nobody has witnessed anything that actually amounts to anything. So what is this whole business all about? Well, go to our ebook and you'll find out. But as I said, ultimately, it's a big scandal about nothing. Epstein is the opposite. It's the story that gets very little publicity, but it is actually an enormous scandal. There were multiple victims, any number of crimes committed, a huge amount of wrongdoing, lots of witnesses, most of whom, by the way, I suspect are still staying silent. And it's got almost no publicity at all. So we contrast those 2 scandals. We write about them in our books. We try to explain both of them. I've done prefaces in which I try and pull it all together. You can, I think, learn an awful lot from those books. And to repeat again, all the proceeds from the sales of those books go to help the firefighters who are fighting these fires in Australia. But you won't just get books or find books on our shop. You'll also find other things, our merchandise, our magnificent magic mugs that I'm drinking tea from at the moment. I've had this mug for some time, and you can see what beautiful condition it's in. Marvelous porcelain body, as I've pointed out many times. You can probably hear the ring, and it's light and strong to hold, and it doesn't chip and it doesn't break. And the coat of arms, this is the coat of arms of the Russian Federation, doesn't get discolored. You can see it there, it doesn't get discolored. So beautiful magic mugs, excellent, amazing shirts, 100% cotton. I've worn my shirts now many times. It's a cold, wet day in London, so I'm now wearing my Duran long-sleeved T-shirt. We've also got, of course, short-sleeve T-shirts. We've also got V-neck shirts. We've also got polo shirts, all beautifully made, all extremely comfortable, all made from 100% cotton. We've also got stickers and hats and hoodies. So you've got great things in our shop. You can buy them all. Our DRN20 discount is still operative. So help the Duran, help yourself, help the firefighters. Go to our shop, buy our ebooks, buy our merchandise, learn things, have these great things. Alex will tell you how to do it.
Just go to theduranshop.com. I have a link for everything down below as well in the description box. Alexander Mercouris, Editor-in-Chief of the Duran. Thank you very much. Until next time, everybody, take care.